we are. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I was sitting here waiting for the show to start, and it's like split second away from starting the music, and I realized one of my lights weren't on. I'm looking at the picture going, looks a little darker than usual. Not dark, in that way, but a little darker. So I flipped that on, had to run back to my seat like a maniac. Oh, boy, what a fucking weekend. Oh, Jiminy Cricket, lots of craziness. And, boy, if you've been a fan of this very program on whatever platform over the course of the years you've watched it on, you do know I say, no matter how crazy we think things have gotten, boy, can you imagine? Things are crazy as they can't get any crazier than this. And it proceeds to get even crazier than that, doesn't it? Because, well, no surprise about the Trump attempted assassination. It wasn't a surprise to anyone I know. We've been talking about it for quite some time. Anybody with any sense, any ability to look at a situation and look at events and figure what's going on would know that the next logical step for these motherfuckers would be to kill Donald Trump. And like I said, we've been talking about it for quite some time. And not just once. I mean, anybody, again, that watches this show knows that for quite some time I've been saying, I do not put it past these motherfuckers to try to kill him. They've gone through all of the virtual assassination attempts. The way to virtually assassinate someone, assassination of character, assassination of his finances, assassination of his ability to be free. They're trying to put this motherfucker in prison. All these things. And much to their chagrin, his popularity just goes up with every try to fuck this guy over. When he first said he was going to run again for president after his 2020 loss, rigged loss, and I completely believe that. After that loss, when he said, I am going to run again for 2024, a lot of people, even supporters, were just like, oh, God, look, can we just please get to some normalcy? Is there someone else that can run as a Republican? Is there someone we can, people just, while I think a lot of people enjoyed some of the prosperity that we had under the Trump presidency, I think people just were kind of tired of the constant battle to support this guy. Not that it was bad to support him or hard to amongst people that also supported him. But I mean, a lot of people went through a lot of shit just for being a Trump supporter. Lost jobs, lost family members. It just was, a lot of people get tired. They're not as strong as others, maybe. And they just go, God, I just don't want to do this anymore. Can we have, Mr. Milquetoast? Can we have Mr. fucking bland, boring 4 years of a president that nothing really happens? Or, I think people kind of wanted that. But as we watched the Biden presidency continue, we realized how much someone, again, like Trump was needed. And there is no one like Trump. So when you say someone like Trump, you mean Trump. There's really no one else like him. We need a Trump-like candidate. Yeah, good luck with that whole thing. And then as time went on, more people were like, yeah, I guess, and you look at the other candidates that were trying to primary, and it's just like, no, these are either the same motherfuckers as the Democrats, or they're completely beholden to the system, or they're just bullshit politicians. And it looked like, holy shit, yeah, I hope Trump gets this nomination, and I hope he does run for president, and I hope he wins. And then we saw the primaries, Iowa and even South Carolina, That was supposed to be what's-her-face's home states, and that worked out horribly for her. And it turns out Trump is the Republican nominee. You're going to see that at the RNC that's going on in Milwaukee this week. And it's a good thing. I think it's a very good thing. Because, again, we need Trump to try to offset and counter the fucking debacle that has been 4 years of Joe Biden. It's just abominable. And this mummy just walking around. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't walk. He can't talk. He can't think. He's got to get out of there. And you think somebody's going to be able to clean up the mess that Biden left doing things like a lifer politician? No. Trump's the guy that's got to get in there and straighten shit out. So then we're brought to Saturday. And just like a lot of people said, Tucker Carlson has said it. I've been on shows. I've done programs with people. And every time it's discussed, how far do you think the Democrats will go? Or Trump haters will go, or whatever this turns out to be will go to stop him from becoming president. I've always said, I do not put assassination past anybody, any of these people. They want him gone. They've tried everything. It just makes his numbers stronger. And lo and behold, Saturday, there it is. There it is. A legitimate assassination attempt, which, for the grace of God and the wind and Trump's decision to turn his head and, whatever else, whatever other little fucking veering off of the timeline of him being hit, whatever that little thing was that veered it off that timeline, it happened, and he did not get killed. Hit him in the ear. Just the closest you can get to killing someone with a rifle. It was a matter of fractions of an inch that decided his fate right there, standing up on that stage. And the idea of the American people watching Donald Trump's head explode, I don't know what that would have wrought. I don't know what the reaction would have been. I mean, the fact that the attempt was made and you came as close as you possibly can to killing this man, and the calm of his supporters and people, I think the relief of him not being killed had a lot to do with the calm after the fact. But if he would have been killed, I don't know. People are saying that would have been the beginning of the revolution or the civil war in this country. Don't know, It was one of those alternate timelines. We will never know what would have happened or could have happened if it had ended up differently. But you can speculate and assume that people, supporters, almost half the country, would have been very angry and perhaps would have shown their anger in a certain display of force. I don't know. But he didn't, thank God. And again, this just has to fucking kill them. His numbers go up. You just can't fucking beat this guy. It's amazing. And the fact that any of this is happening is such a movie storyline. I mean, from 2015, coming down that escalator. I used to say it all the time before he was even elected and the campaign was going and the debates. And I'm like, this has to end with him being elected. The movie isn't good if Hillary wins. The movie, the ending of the movie, people go, God, I loved this movie. And then the ending, and it was like, I hate it now. If Hillary won, it wasn't good. The fact that Trump squeaked out that win and was, holy shit, Donald Trump is president for 4 years. That's what this movie that is our world needed. And everything that's been happening, the oh no, and then the oh great, like all the ups and downs of this whole thing has been the crescendos in a movie. You look at, just a few months ago, Trump supporters were just all downtrodden and depressed, and Donald Trump indicted 90 some odd felony charges. Donald Trump convicted of 34 felony charges, sentencing in July. Donald Trump indicted for confidential top secret documents. Donald Trump found guilty, convicted. And you're like, well, I guess it's over. That sucks. Guy's now a convicted felon, even though that's all bullshit. But it does seem like these people have all the power, doesn't it? And the evil powers are beating down Donald Trump and the supporters. And then the debate happens. And you're like, holy shit. Biden has just gotten up there and completely shown himself to be incompetent and inept and incapable of being the president of the United States. And there's only one other guy that really has the chance on the ballot and everything. And it's this, convicted felon, Donald Trump. Well, the Trump supporters, yay, we're back. Let's do this. And then they postpone his sentencing till September from July because the Supreme Court made a decision on whether he has immunity from prosecution in some of these cases. And so they delayed the sentencing, which is giving him the chance to campaign and do these amazing rallies and whatnot. So then he goes to this rally and he gets shot. All of this is the greatest fucking movie you'll ever watch. We're all part of it. And it's, it brings up people's theories on if we're in a simulation and the conspiracy theories and what is this? How does this work? Is everything choreographed? I don't know, but you got to admit, this is a wild fucking ride. This one is a wild fucking ride. Got everything in it. Your fucking courtroom drama, your sexual angles, your fucking action film, James Bond. It's crazy. It is fucking nuts, but it's happening. And, what we saw Saturday was just an insane, another one of these crescendos. The imagery from that day, that one guaranteed Pulitzer Prize winning photo of the flag. It's the one that isn't cropped. Some publications are using the cropped picture. The one where you see the flag, you see Donald Trump, fist raised in defiance, blood running down his cheek, Secret Service around him, but he's kind of towering over them, which is another fuck up on the Secret Service's part, which we will get into. The whole thing is just an insane, either an amazingly planned out and fucked up assassination attempt or incompetence on a level we've never seen by law enforcement. But we'll get into that. But the imagery from Saturday is so amazing. So, again, like a movie poster. This would be the poster for this movie. Pop that up, Ryan. The picture of Donald Trump, fist raised, American flag behind him. Yeah, I mean, that, you put some graphics up there, you pick a name for whatever this fucking movie is, and you put it across the top, and then you put the starring and directed by from the producers of, and you got yourself a movie poster there. This is also crazy. The flag is almost inverted. It's almost turned over like America in Distress. I've seen a lot of people that have used an upside down American flag as their avatars because it's, our country in distress. So you have almost, it doesn't look like it's supposed to look, the American flag waving behind him. It looks distressed. You have Donald Trump triumphantly fist raised, but blood on his face. He's been bloodied, but not beaten. The people that are supposed to be protecting him look more like they're cowering while Trump is fully exposed, yelling fight. It's akin to the photo of the flag being raised at Iwo Jima. It's very similar to the firemen raising the American flag on the debris of the World Trade Center. It's a very patriotic, very American, iconic at this point picture. Again, just an amazing. Yeah, a lot of publications have been cropping. Yeah, there you go. The flags, the battle. A lot of these pictures show the flag in battle, and that is no different. That was, a very short, albeit short battle, but it was indeed a battle. And Trump emerged victorious. The would-be assassin was dispatched. And, now we investigate and look into what happened and what went wrong and what perhaps was planned or not. But that imagery and the actual basic bullet points of what happened is exactly that. The flag, Trump, fist defiantly raised, blood on his face, telling everyone to fight. I mean, it's corny if it's in a movie. It's fucking corny. You sit there and go like, this scene was a little much. It's a little like some of those scenes in Top Gun or, shit like that. You're like, Independence Day. This is our Independence Day. I'm a pilot. I belong in the sky. All right. And then what's next? Donald Trump getting into a fucking FA-18 and fighting aliens? I'm a pilot. I belong in the sky. Fox 3. And I'd be sitting here going, can you believe Donald Trump he fought and was fighting the aliens from a plane? Because it's like a movie. This would be corny if it was a movie. Yeah, it would. Fist raised, blood on his face, American flag, fight. It's corny if anyone wrote this. But there it is for all to see. There it is. I will say, this is it is the biggest event that tested social media as a news platform. And not news where you're sitting there listening to it, not the news you guys and everyone else is used to. The dumb talking head shill that's working for the producer shill, that's working for the company owner shill, that's working for, But news in that, I mean information, the distribution of raw information for the people to then gather, exchange, and disseminate. This had never been done on this scale. And I think it's another one of those I talk about these little ticks up we get in our world, in society, in innovation. Everything seems like it's just going along at whatever pace it is. And then every so often you get a tick and you go, oh, what was that? Little tick up. Something changed. Technology changed. Ideologies changed. Our society, the way we work. Something was different very quickly. Like, when you look at the clock and you see that 10 minutes have gone by, but you never saw the minute hand move. And occasionally when you looked over, you saw like tick, you saw it move and go, oh, hey, look at that. It does move. This was one of those moments as far as information and how people get it and what they do with it is concerned. The internet platforms that we have to communicate have been around for quite some time, archaic versions, MySpace. And then we had Twitter for quite a while, but that was really run by people that were pretty much against what we saw happen Saturday. Raw information coming in and the people being allowed to put those ideas up, exchange them, say, no, this happened. That's what an hour ago. This is what we know now. All that stuff just wasn't really happening just a few years ago. With Elon taking over, I think it was a perfect storm. Elon taking over Twitter. A lot more people subscribe to Twitter. Twitter technologically getting better, being able to post videos and things like that over the course of the years have turned it into the go-to place for your news. It is. You do not hear of something. First of all, you hear about it on Twitter. Saturday, I'm sitting at a restaurant, I'm sitting at a restaurant in Greenville, and I go to Twitter, I look, and I see Donald Trump shot at rally. I scroll, because I think it's got to be bullshit immediately. Within a split second, you go through everything in your head. And what happened there was I go, oh, what is this? What happened? Did somebody, fart on mic and whatever? And then I scroll a little further and all of the posts from different people were the same thing. And I went, this is the real deal. And that started the whole thing where you start looking at other posts and other things and try to see all the information that's pouring in on X. I'll call it X because Elon wants us to. In the old days, you heard something usually by word of mouth or your car radio maybe. And it was so long after the fact that something happened. We were getting word that something here has happened. And it was at the very least 20 minutes after something happened, it might get to the news and the radio would put it out over there. And then what would you do? If you were on your way home, you'd go home and turn your TV on to the news station and get their unbelievably delayed, partisan, inaccurate propaganda version of whatever was happening. And that was all you had. You had to believe it. There was nowhere else to go. So I think we saw something really amazing, really groundbreaking, and another one of those little ticks up in how we deal with information and how we get it. I think a lot more people realize that social media, and right now X, but of course things like YouTube and Rumble and whatever Trump's fucking social media is called. Those are your places. Those are the places you're going to go to get your information. It's the place most people first found out that Trump was shot, was on social media, not the news. The news is a dying, lying dinosaur, just writhing, trying to get its last gasp of air before it goes under the tar pit and becomes your fossil fuels. It's done. And nothing they can do is going to save them. It's just what's happening. And then, because it's so habitual for some people to go to the news for their news, they actually called it the news. So people would go, where do I get my news? Oh, the news. Well, it's not. It's not. Some people still went there, and what were they given? Unbelievable propaganda, dis and misinformation on what happened. Automatically, they went to defend whatever was happening and make excuses for it and put down Trump and his supporters, try to blame Trump. Some people were speculating it was fake. Now, I understand with AI and a lot of the, you see memes and funny things that are fake. To try to believe that Trump would fake something like this is unbelievably stupid. How ignorant do you have to be? Logistically, it's impossible. And the great clown of all our time, Stuttering John, thought that he had a paintball. They used a paintball to fake it. It was a paintball. Are you out of your mind? Like, people would know within a second. And if you were trying to do something like that, wouldn't you use some kind of a squib or something that looks better or something? Like, even in the movies, they use better tactics and techniques to fake someone's assassination than just because John is so dumb that he would just, what'd they do? They fired a paintball at his ear and now everyone believes. Just an idiot. Did I include Stuttering John's take on this, or did I just post it? Because his take is so funny. Stut Joe's assassination take. I did. Okay, hold on. Rewind it. Turn up the volume, and people listen to this. Again, like I said, writers couldn't write a movie like what we've seen with the Donald Trump saga over the course of the years because people would go, "It's too corny. It's not realistic. It doesn't." People couldn't write. The most talented Hollywood writers could not write a person as stupid as Stuttering John. I defy them to sit down and write out the dialogue, the costuming, the makeup, the hair and makeup, the mannerisms, directing him, and come up with a character this fucking stupid that anyone would believe. John is just this guy. Listen to his take on the assassination.
But I thought it was staged. I thought it was fake because it appeared fake. I thought it was paint on his ear. It did. Until we learned that a person was killed and the shooter was killed. Now, I didn't know. I didn't even know what kind of caliber the rifle was. I don't know if any of you guys know. I had to call the Army Major. I was like, dude, what? I don't get it. Where is this shooter from? Where is he? I guess he was outside, but how could he be? I don't know. Was he on a ladder? I haven't watched all the news today.
Obviously.
But how did he get? Donald Trump was all in the bottom of the, of the thing, of the stage. How did this guy shoot all the way up from above? Was he in a helicopter? I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me.
Holy shit. He's exhaustingly stupid. Exhaustingly stupid. You watch him, you are fatigued from his absolute stupidity once you listen to him. He just, hey, Donald Trump, he down here. The shooter. You could pull aside a random retarded child and ask his take on the shooting and get a more coherent assessment of what had happened than what Stuttering Dummy just put forth right there. What caliber? Army Major, helicopter, ladder. He's an idiot. Now, unfortunately, he is the just king of the idiots. I get that. But unfortunately, there are plenty of other idiots in our country that thought the same thing, thought it was fake and a put on. Like, I guess they don't understand when you are Donald Trump at this point and Donald Trump's people, and you have these rallies planned. Doing the rally is all you need. He's ahead in the polls. Everything that happens puts him higher in the polls. Every attempt for them to fuck him over puts Trump higher in the polls. What idiot in the Trump organization would suggest they fake an assassination? Because could you imagine that it was faked, and then, of course, it would immediately get out that it's fake? You think that would help Donald Trump's numbers? Or you think it would be just amazing fodder for the Democrats to say, really? What is he, a child? What is this? He needs to fake that. But, no sense, no ability to take in some information and then reason it through a cognitive mind and come out with a conclusion. And of course, the immediate conclusion is that was not faked. Might have been planned. That's a reasonable assessment when you get more information and realize that the Secret Service and local police in that scenario had fucked up to a degree that is, again, could not be written in a movie without people going, come on, they don't fuck up that bad. But there are idiots that think it was planned, and like stuttering retard there. It's just insane. In-fucking sane. He's down at the bottom, and the guy here shoot what? Oh, it's truly Retardo the Magnificent. Okay, let's drop our show preparation. There we go. Let's look into what the fuck, because there is a lot of what the fuck. Where do you start even? The guy, the assassin. Ooh, it conjures up an image, doesn't it? Assassin. It's some, smooth-looking James Bondy guy, and pulls out his rifle out of the briefcase. He's on a rooftop somewhere. He's got the big optic, and he's done this 1,000 times. Crosshairs. You get the guy right in there. Yeah, that's the assassin. No, that's a movie assassin. This movie, the assassin is a 20-year-old geek who doesn't look like he's ever seen pussy in his life. And his whole being doesn't make sense. This is, this is going to get the conspiracy people. I'm not even going to say theorists. Conspiracy isn't a bad word. It doesn't discount what happened. Conspiracy theorist conjures up some images of people that are, tinfoil hats and whatnot. A conspiracy is just a group of people, more than one person, that have planned something. That's a conspiracy. You're conspiratorial. You're with people and you're planning something to a common end. So to believe that this was perhaps conspiratorial isn't out of the realm of possibility at all. And with everything new piece of info that comes in, it seems like it's even more viable that there was some type of conspiracy with this. It wasn't just this one nerdy douche that decided he's going to grab a rifle, climb a ladder, that he had to, in order for him to be alone in this, no one else involved, he had to bring everything to that fairground, the ladder. He had to bring the ladder, prop it against the fucking building, bring the rifle, which wasn't a breakdown rifle, it looks like. Doesn't look like he had a case or anything to carry it in. Get up on that roof. All these things. He had to figure out what was this kid's life. I have not heard shit about this guy. I hear more about the Las Vegas shooter, which we never heard anything about. We're getting high school pictures of this guy, of said assassin. high school photos. And what was he all about? What did he do with his life? What were his hobbies? He never went out to do anything and took a picture. He's got no social media presence at 20 years old. He just never posted pictures of himself doing things he enjoyed. I'll tell you something about the shooting itself. You hear a lot of people, they become experts on everything. No matter what happens, within a minute, 2 minutes, you are an expert. And you're up there posting and telling everybody how awesome you are at the topic at hand. A lot of legal people. You get a lot of lawyers, a lot of iPhone lawyers out there. Well, ipso facto and habeas corpus. Oh, okay. All right. Mr. fucking Ballbag 302 Esquire. Hey, would you blow me, Esquire? So, you get a lot of people that are experts, and you look at the shooting itself. 150 yards, 120 yards, whatever it was over 100 yards, which is a football field. It's a football field. Everyone's saying it was an easy shot. I could probably go to the range with an AR-15 with iron sights, because I'm also hearing from the information coming in, there was no optic on this rifle. There was no scope, no crosshairs. It was a standard rifle with your rear sight and your front sight, and that's what you use. No magnification. So you're further than a football field. You're probably adding the difference and what they say the distance was. Picture your target is at the end of the end zone, and you're shooting from the end of the other end zone. That's probably the distance. There's an elevation difference, and there's a bit of a breeze, little wind, and you're using iron sights. And now you're rushed, you're nervous, you're 20, and this kid would have scored a headshot if not for the miracle of Trump moving his head and a little breeze, a 5-mile-an-hour breeze that must have shuffled through at the last second, that made that shot miss by at the most an inch. Like that. Here's another thing I don't think people understand. If it even hit him, it didn't have to hit him side like this. If it hit him here, even, the energy that a bullet can disperse in anything it touches is amazing. He's lucky the ear can absorb a lot of energy. It's very flimsy. It's not very stout. It won't take that energy and distribute it around your head and skull. Sort of like, pulling out a tablecloth from a bunch of dishes and glasses and whatnot. If that would have hit him any closer and hit bone or any meaty part, that energy from that bullet, it gets distributed around whatever structure it's hitting, which could have definitely affected his brain. Absolutely. So just because he just missed and hit his ear doesn't mean that if it was even an inch closer, it couldn't have done damage even from this angle. Now, he was at this angle. He was looking to shoot him in the back of the head. And that would have been, we've all seen the Kennedy shot and everything. That would have been instant death. And again, that alternate timeline that, thank God, we're not living through. To make that shot, end zone, back of the end zone to back of the end zone with iron sights and hitting the person's head, whether it's his ear, dead center, whatever it is not an easy shot. I would defy you to take anyone to the range that isn't a proficient shooter, just somebody. Because we have to speculate this kid, and what we've heard, he wasn't a shooter. Maybe he was, but we didn't see any pictures. I have no information that, it's reported that he went to the range. He was going to the range every day for a year. I don't know what this kid was doing for a fucking year. No information is coming out about anything this kid did except went to school and graduated. I saw that video. He was in a BlackRock fucking promotional video, and he shot the president, or shot the ex-president, Donald Trump. Anything else? I don't know. No one knows. Why? Why don't we know? But I defy you. Take anyone down to a range. Give him an iron sight, AR-15. Put a plate the size of someone's head at 150 yards, 120 yards. Now, just tell them to hit the plate. I don't think they'll hit it. Have the elevation different. Give them the gun, have them crawl around, and tell them not to shoot until you tell them to shoot. And then go, okay, shoot! Because apparently this kid was going to take a lot longer, or some time longer, to line his shot up. And when the cops saw him and the people going there saw him and started saying, hey, there's a guy on the roof with a gun, and the Secret Service didn't do anything, this kid decides, oh shit, my timeline's pushed back a little. I got to get a shot off. So again, you're not just at the range like you would be going, oh, I got to hit that plate at 120 yards? Okay. Let me breathe right. Let me get this. Let me squeeze. It's, oh, fuck, I got to make this shot. Bam. That's not just some 20-year-old nerdy kid that grabs his daddy's gun for the day and decides he's going to shoot the president, the former president. So, that whole aspect of it doesn't make any sense, just like most of this doesn't make any sense. But for anyone saying, it was easy, it's not that easy. It's not a gimme, put it that way. It's not just a gimme. Throw me a rifle, 120 yards, I'll hit that with iron sights. For anyone proficient in shooting, yes, of course, it's easy. I get it. For Mike the Marine, my buddy Mike the Marine, he'll do it over his fucking shoulder with a mirror and hit the fucking thing. I get it. But we're talking about someone who is, at least at this point, being described by his classmates as somebody that wasn't good at shooting, and that's why he couldn't get into the shooting club at school, because he wasn't even that good at shooting. All these things that are coming up, a little weird. He's a registered Republican voter, but he donated money to a liberal political action committee for the Democrats, for Biden or Obama. Yeah, for Biden. Which, again, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this, by the way, is the only thing we have on him. We don't have any posts about, again, what he did. Any Reddit posts about his ideology, a picture of a girl. Is there a, oh, fuck, she's hot, Sydney Sweeney comment? Nothing. Why? Who is this? Now, again, the perfect movie Patsy is a loner, someone that didn't have friends, someone who might have been bullied, an outcast, and not much of a presence, just kind of melted into the background. And this guy fits the bill. And then when you look, these people are very impressionable. They want someone to like them. They want attention. They want to be told they're good at something. And so when you're trying to recruit a patsy or somebody to do your evil bidding, It's perfect. This is who, and I'm not talking out my ass here. This is historical precedent. This has been done before. These are the people they get to shoot other people when they don't want to do it themselves. So you got this kid, he's all of the above. And now I have to bring up this BlackRock thing. This is very strange. BlackRock is a huge organization that runs money. It's an organization that runs money for people. You got some money? Give it to us. We'll make you some more money. We're an organization. We buy a company, we make it better, we sell it. They're like a fixer-upper. Like when the people flip houses, they do that with everything in the world. They flip everything in the world. And they you know how much money they control right now? Just about $10 trillion. Trillion dollars. Do you think anyone wants to give up the power that $10 trillion gives you? And the $10 trillion? Do you think you want to give that up? No. People have resorted to murder for $20. It happens. You think $10 trillion? You think the fact that the Boeing organization, is going to let a couple of douchebags shit talk them in court? Or are they going to conveniently have them blow their heads off or die of some kind of infection in the hospital the day they were going to testify against Boeing? Yeah. Boeing is the biggest arms producer and distributor overseas, bigger than Raytheon. They make bombs. They make missiles. They make spacecraft. You think they're not going to off a couple of douchebags to save their company and their money and the people in power? Of course they are. If they didn't, it would seem off. Same thing with BlackRock. And BlackRock is so ingrained in the government. BlackRock makes contributions to politicians. Politicians give BlackRock contracts. It's a very quid pro quo arrangement. So the politicians don't want anything bad to happen to BlackRock. So BlackRock has their own security. They keep everything just so. And again, if you don't think that involves having people assassinated, you're crazy. Well, they can't shoot Trump. They can't shoot Trump. Of course, they can't. Can't have a guy with a BlackRock security tag on and do that. So what do? Well, we need a young, impressionable guy that we can somehow get into our fold, take under our wing, and pass him off to the people that will mold him. Very malleable guy will mold him into the assassin we need. We will remove any social media, internet, online presence he has. Hopefully he doesn't have that much to begin with because he's a geek. He doesn't have much of a life. So there aren't pictures of him drinking Coronas in Cabo. How do you find someone like that? How do you find someone like that? You're BlackRock. You can't just go around interviewing young boys for a job as an assassin. Well, you have plenty of programs. You do things. You have a whole division that makes promotional films for BlackRock. Maybe one of these promotional films you want to make involve high school kids. Now you're filming in a high school. Now, who are the people? The cameraman, this guy? Hey, maybe there's someone on the staff that camera guy's going, who's that? Oh, that's one of the guys that just makes sure everything is going well, he's a recruiter. He's talking to the kids in this film. Hey, how you doing? What's your story? What are you going for? What do you want to do? How are you friends? What do you, just getting to know the kids that are going to be part of this BlackRock thing. Then he can go back and go, well, here's a little list I made. And by the way, this just happened with this kid in this school, and they're doing this all over the place. And now you got this kid, and they whittle down the list and go, this guy looks pretty promising. Why don't we send this guy and have him befriend him or need him for something or guide him toward this hobby or whatever it is. That's absolutely viable. That scenario I just put forth is absolutely viable. And if the only reason you don't think it is because of the ethics of BlackRock or that murder is illegal and a company wouldn't do, oh, please open those peepers and take a look around at what's been going on. Because who else is this kid? Who else is he? You're in a fucking BlackRock promotional video. The one thing, aside from getting your diploma on stage, the only video I've seen of this kid getting his diploma and sitting in a BlackRock fucking promotional video. Holy shit. And you don't think BlackRock has people that wanted their whole sole mission is to protect BlackRock and protect the politicians that keep BlackRock in power and give them contracts and look the other way. And those people are right now, because I'm sure BlackRock doesn't have an allegiance to any particular party or people, whoever's doing their bidding. That's who they do. That's how they operate. Who's doing our bidding? Keep them in there. Keep them going. And right now, it's the Biden administration. And they see Trump gaining ground. And, they've done, the Biden administration and the Democrats have done these favors, quid pro quo for BlackRock. And it's time for BlackRock to pay up. I may ask you for a favor in the future. And that time may never come. But if it does, you best be at the mortuary when Don Corleone shows up to meet you. And that is what I believe happened. The word got out. Hey, this motherfucker is going to win this. And we need your help. We're on it. Who was that kid that we had? The assassin kid? Yeah, we got him a couple of years back at school. He's still on the roll call on the sheet. Yeah, we got him. Yeah, we're going to need him. All right. And then, if you put that in place, the cavalcade of fuck-ups that we saw on the part of the Secret Service and local law enforcement working in conjunction with the Secret Service, that becomes part of the puzzle. How did that happen? Well, who's in charge of the Secret Service? We have this woman, of course, that was working for the PepsiCo Corporation. She was working for the company that puts out Pepsi and Cheetos and Fritos, and she was in risk management for that company. And I believe she was also the Secret Service. Who was she Secret Service for? Who was her first person that she had to protect under her Secret Service thingy umbrella? If you could find that, Ryan, I would appreciate. Because again, she's obviously partisan, is what I'm saying. She is a Biden person. She was appointed by Joe Biden. Her goal is equity, diversity, and inclusion. She wants a 30% woman-based Secret Service. And again, I believe that's active protection Secret Service. Secret Service is two kind of different things, a few different things, but we mostly know about two. They protect the president, the vice president, and they make sure people aren't counterfeiting money. That's their job. They're very different aspects to their responsibilities there, but it is. It's like, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. All right. 3 things that are awesome, but you wouldn't think of putting them all under one umbrella of jurisdiction or authority. But counterfeit and protecting the president. So, I have no qualms about a fat woman. Oh, there we go. She was appointed head of the agency by Biden in 2022. She worked Secret Service for 25 years. Then PepsiCo. Yeah, but I think she was a Secret Service person for someone. Who was it? Who is Secret Service? She was Secret Service. Let me see. I got to be like, what we know about her. Okay, go there. Maybe we could get something there. History of Secret Service. That's of the Secret Service. All right, whatever. It's not important. She did have a person that she was in charge of at some point. So she'd been out in the field, at some point in her career. But her goal is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And like I said, I don't mind having some fat, incompetent, panicky woman in the Secret Service. If you keep her in the basement of some building in D.C. with a yellow highlighter, drawing it across $100 bills all day. That's a good one. Like Bugs Bunny in that thing where he's hitting the bombs with a sledgehammer and writing dud on the side. That's perfect for these women. Just keep the hundreds going through, hit him with a pen and go, yeah, that one's good. And then you're set. You're fine. Protecting the president, the vice president, the former presidents and presidential candidates, I think you need a guy, first of all. She has close ties to Cheney, the Bidens, and is responsible for the January 6th deleted text scandal. Holy shit. All right, Dick Cheney. Not a Democrat, but a fucking, just a piece of shit. He was the vice president under George W. and had more connections to corporations that used his vice presidency as just an ATM. Okay, that makes sense. She was hired, though, because she's a woman. And these women, Secret Service men, they need to be big guys just for the fact, here's the simplest of reasons that a Secret Service man should be a man and be a big guy. Target, just you're a bigger shield for the president to use to not get hit by a bullet. Yes, the Secret Service take an oath to take a bullet for the president. And simple math dictates that a bigger person is better protection for that president. If you're taller than the president, it's harder for someone to shoot the president in the head without hitting the Secret Service guy first. If you have wider shoulders, if you're a bigger guy, if you're a man and not a little woman with lower shoulders, a thinner waist, all of it. So mathematically, you should have a guy as Secret Service. And then just psychologically, men, they tend to be more alert, able to recognize danger, and just aware of their surroundings. They're not as easily distracted as women. They have much better capability of remaining calm and able to perform their duties under amazingly stressful circumstances. Again, these are overall. I don't want to talk about some periphery woman that is amazing, or some periphery guy that's a piece of shit, just falls apart when the going gets rough. I am talking your big chunk of the curve right there, where you should be picking your agents from. Pop up the famous picture of this little fat woman, Secret Service agent, because it's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. She has no business being there. She's losing her mind. She can't holster a weapon because her fat is getting into her holster. She's literally, her holster turned out because of her fat, and she's trying to put it in the holster, and it's just missing because she doesn't belong there. There's another woman running around, and her ponytail is going whoosh, whoosh, like she's on the beach. Like she's in a surf movie on the beach. Men need to do this job. But this woman, as the director of the Secret Service, has made diversity, equity, and inclusion her number one mission. Well, you saw what happened to what's supposed to be your number one mission, protecting the president. He was half an inch from dying. I think your priorities need to get a little better there, lady. Little better. You find that picture? She's all over the place, Ryan. She's everywhere. There she is. Yeah, that guy probably, well, I think he is Secret Service, or at least Capitol. I remember seeing that guy beforehand. But if these two came up and were equal, not even equal, the woman obviously isn't equal, but had their applications in for the Secret Service, they would pick this woman because diversity, equity, and inclusion is the number one priority of the director, and she has the say. So they would look at the applicants and go, wow, you got a big fucking guy here. Obviously, he's ex-military, and just look at how focused he looks. He's like, even just walking with his rifle, he's focused. This woman is completely lost. She's got her gun out. She tried to holster it, but her fat got in the way. This is not based on qualifications. And the director said as much. They're looking for diversity, equity, and inclusion, not qualified people that could adequately defend the president. So, that's another thing. Now we get into the people that were there on that day that are supposed to do the protecting. The Secret Service. Yeah, look at this. Look at the woman's ponytail flipping around. You don't have flipping ponytails on the Secret Service. That one's got a bun. This one can't put her gun away because she's fat. She's trying to put her gun in the holster. Look at, she finally got it. This one's worried about getting her cool sunglasses on. I mean, In the Line of Fire. That was a movie. You know, the Secret Service agent was Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood. That's your Secret Service. Oh, my God. When that Secret Service jumped up on the back of Kennedy's limo, his ponytail wasn't flying in the breeze till they got to the hospital. There was fuck-ups there, too. Unbelievable. So then what happens that day, Saturday, with Secret Service and law enforcement? Well, it's a complete clusterfuck. First of all, anyone would know that they do a walkthrough of the entire grounds before a piece of equipment, before anything ever makes its way there. They look at the grounds and go, where are the dangers? Where should we set up? Where is the stage going to be? Where everything. What happened there? There was a circular perimeter that is supposedly the perimeter, the diameter that they have to make sure they're covering. Well, I see this perimeter and there's a Pac-Man mouth bite taken out of it where this building is. For some reason, this building, while in the circular perimeter, was not in the actual perimeter. Why? It's a fucking building within eyesight and line sight of the president, of Trump.
What was the name of that?
Why wouldn't that be secured? Why wouldn't there be police on that building, up on the roof? Have policemen up there. How do you keep someone from getting up on the roof? Keep a policeman up there. That seems simple. But they didn't. They had snipers, counter snipers. You've seen the videos. But let's take a look at this one video. It is where is it? Let's see. That was funny. I'll get it. Multicam of shooting. This is very interesting. Someone put this together. It's a multi-camera view with the time going. These are all synchronized to the same time, but from various locations during the assassination attempt. Now, you'll hear Trump talking a full 2 minutes before the first shot goes off. People are already saying there's somebody up on that roof, which leads to an insane amount of questions as to what transpired next, or more importantly, what didn't transpire next. Let's watch a little of this.
I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful place with a gorgeous ocean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And still I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
And it's
There he
not
is.
easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here.
Okay, pause. You see people notice this guy. He's crawling around on the roof. He's trying to not be seen. He's low crawling on the roof. People notice it. It's about 40 seconds, about 35 seconds after they notice it. Only 35 seconds after they notice it, you hear the first person say something like, "Officer." That's what you hear. "Officer." Alerting the police to the fact that somebody is up on that fucking roof. Now, an array of things should happen at this point. The cop should have immediately gotten on the radio and let everyone know, hey, I got an unknown up on a rooftop here, which you would assume would have led the Secret Service to immediately stop the speech, grab Trump, and get him the fuck off the stage. Immediately. Get him off the stage. That would go from, "Officer, there's someone on the roof. Hey, I got somebody on this roof." I'm sure they all have a common channel. This isn't speculation. They have a TAC channel where the local police and the Secret Service and everyone is tied into one frequency, and they can hear if this cop goes, "I have an unknown up here. This is, a little odd. He's crawling around on a roof." What happened? Why weren't they removing Trump? Forget about finding him and shooting him right away, or taking the threat down. Get the guy off the stage. Where's the Secret Service? Where's this cop informing everyone that there's a fucker on the roof? Why isn't this happening? Continue.
Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than if it happened. We have the strongest border ever. In recorded history, we're the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much?
All right, pause
you don't
again.
Mind if I go off tele?
Pause again. We're now a full minute into people noticing a guy on the roof. An officer has already been notified that there's a guy up on the roof. Nothing is being done to get Donald Trump off the stage, which, by the way, is the top priority. The top priority isn't identifying the guy, seeing if he's a threat, shooting him. None of that. Top priority, get your guy into safety. Get around him, remove him from this danger that perhaps is looming. If it was a guy that just wanted to look at Trump through binoculars or anything, you find that out later. But as far as protocol goes, you remove this guy from the stage. By the way, the shots won't happen for another minute, I think. Keep going.
Prompter, do you? Because these teleprompters are so damn boring, I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit over that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something, it says,
shooting. We have the Secret Service. Trump ducked himself.
We got breaking news. Coming in.
Okay. Yeah. A full 2 minutes. A full 2 minutes between the time somebody saw someone on the roof. A minute and 30 seconds from the time a cop was informed that somebody is on a rooftop crawling around. And then there's a shot a minute and a half later. That minute and a half, well, you know, a minute and a half to some people is it's a split second. Is that to the Secret Service? That's a lifetime. And the fact that word did not get to the Secret Service agents whose primary job is to jump up there and remove Donald Trump from that stage. I don't know what to make of it. Don't sound like protocol. Doesn't sound like competence. And again, almost sounds like something that was supposed to happen. Now, again, am I a conspiracy theorist? Am I crazy for thinking of this? Is it such an insane leap to take that perhaps this was planned out by someone and that certain politicians asked BlackRock for their help? They had someone already on their roll sheet that was ready, willing, and able to do this. And they just went through the motions. They just put everything in play. They hit the start button. And then you get a few more people in the Secret Service, a few more people that are on the local police force that have had a talking to, maybe. And what happens? This happens. By the grace of God, it wasn't a textbook assassination. He missed. That's the only thing that went wrong with this, is that he missed. And by what went wrong, I mean, if you plan this and you go through all these motions to have it done, you got to figure out a way to have a ladder leaning against a building within a perimeter that the president is going to be speaking, President Trump. And the Secret Service does a walk around and no one says, why is that ladder there? Let's get people up on that rooftop. Let's all those things. You have all that. And then a little wind and move of his head and all your plans go to shit. Don't mean they weren't plans. I mean, it's exactly the way it was supposed to go, except he missed. Now, again, where is this kid? Who is this kid? What has he been doing? What has he been doing since we saw that video of him graduating? He grabs his diploma, he walks off stage and disappears for 4 years until he turns up, or 2 years until he turns up shooting at Donald Trump, only to have his head fucking ventilated by a sniper. That's convenient too, isn't it? In that minute and a half between when the cop was notified and the shots took off, in that minute and a half, what was supposed to happen? Trump was supposed to get off the stage. The target's supposed to be identified and dispatched if they see him as a danger to the people or the president. Why didn't that happen? Maybe it wasn't supposed to happen until the guy shot. You see the guys, the counter snipers, acquire the guy. They see him through the scope. They're looking at him for a little bit. There's definitely, when you see them, they don't just look through their scope at one area. They look around. That's why that sniper rifle's on a tripod like that. They're looking around for danger. They saw danger. They had it in their sights and did not shoot until the sniper had shot. And Trump fell behind the fucking podium, and then they took out the assassin. And then, Trump stands the fuck up. Oh, fuck. That wasn't supposed to happen. That part was not supposed to happen. Until I hear different, that's my theory. That's what I believe the chain of events were. I think there's the lack of information we're getting on the assassin, and the only information we do have tells me a lot. That speaks volumes as to why we aren't hearing about this kid. From high school to getting shot after shooting the president, nothing. Like a ghost. Like a fucking ghost. No manifesto, no fucking pictures. Even Oswald had some fucking pictures. The fact that somebody came up with the name Retardy Oswald is Retardy Oswald. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. Oh my God. So I don't know where this goes from here. Now, especially now, 2 days later, we're seeing a lot of the dis and misinformation mill running. A lot of the news stations, the fake, lying, manipulated news, they're starting to, cook their bullshit stories. And again, where are the questions? Why aren't they asking the important questions? Who was this? Who was this guy? What has he been doing for 2 years? Has he been at a shooting range? Did he practice with this rifle? Did his parents not know where he was during the day? Did he go to the movies? Did he fucking have a friend? Did he smoke pot? Did he anything? This guy just tried to clip the number one candidate for president of the United States, and we know nothing about him? Nothing? Okay. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? In a scenario where it's just some crazy guy, registered Republican. Yeah, that makes perfect sense that he's been a ghost since he fucking walked off that stage with his diploma in his hand. Yeah. And he was in a BlackRock video. That's all we know. That's all we know. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for your information. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow, right back here on compoundmedia.com, censored.tv. I know Censored had a little technical issue today with their website, but I don't know if it's fixed by now or it will be or anything, but it's probably going to be fixed by tomorrow's show or maybe even later for Gavin's show. Gavin comes on at 7, I believe. So we'll be back. We'll discuss this a little more and a bunch of other things. Poor Richard Simmons. He had to die like minutes before this happened and nobody gave him any love. Yeah, black people. I'll talk about black people. I know people want me to talk about black people. And a little more of this. A chicken killed a guy. It was crazy. Okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you. We thank you for your support. And we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, Wiedersehen. First to Gergen. Bye. Get Mara.